All right. I believe we should be live now, theoretically. Just waiting to see myself on here. Sweet. All right. Welcome to the people who are watching after the fact. I'm going to post that I'm live on my Instagram now. Let's see. Can I get OBS in there? Oh, it's kind of difficult actually. What? Oh, I see. My hand looks really weird in it, but... Oh, and then I need to grab a link. To the live stream. Hello in the chat. That is a hello. It is now in the chat. This is public, right? Why is it not showing up? There we go. Live right now. All right. Posted. Incredible. Oh, man. This is becoming a bit of a tradition, I suppose. Let's see. Is this it? I wonder how that comes through. Oh, man. Sorry. Man, I was playing... Oh, that's a great question. How would we extend the log rule to irrational time signatures? The answer is, like, it just works. Yeah, I didn't cover that in the video, but I did think about it, and the thing is that irrational time signature measures in actual music, generally speaking... I mean, every time that I've seen them, which admittedly is not that many, but there aren't that many instances to see anyway. But every time that I've seen them, like, the idea is that you are going to have some, like, fraction of the pulse. I mean, I guess, to be fair, I guess also you can just think about it always as, like, a metric modulation. But if you're relating it to the pulse that was established before you got to the irrational time signature measure... Like, it just works. Like, it's like a portion of the pulse that's not, that won't divide into, like, a power of 2, but it just kind of works, actually. So, yeah, I mean, that does make me think, like, could we do an example of that? Like, if we had, like, a classic, I don't know, like a, like, I don't know, like a 5/6 measure or something, right? 5/6 measure. And let's say we were coming off of, actually, you know what we should do is we should do this in FL Studio. Oh, is my connection okay? What we should do is we should do this in FL Studio. What do I have here? Oh, well, I have a non-functioning thing here. Let's see, will that work? No. Please. Oh, okay, nice. That looks like it's coming through as well. Okay. So yeah, let's try that. I'm curious now. So we're gonna kind of have to ignore the bar lines, I guess. But like, well, actually, hang on. Actually, I did this in the video, and then I like, bro, where are my rims? Where are my rims, bro? Rims. Here we go. This one. That's the metronome rim right there. So, okay, so let's make a 4/4 measure, and then let's also make a 5/6 measure. So a sixth note would be one of these. No, sorry, one of these, right? Yeah, that's 6. And then we would just have 5 of those. Assuming that, assuming that one bar is a whole note here. So there's our 5/6 measure. We can even name it 5/6. And then we name this one 4/4. Beautiful. Oh, there's a note there. Okay. So now, right? So what you would probably have, right, if you had an irrational thing is something like this. And this would be your loop. Or, you know. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Right? Classic irrational time signature move. So in this case, you can either argue that you're kind of like metrically modulating and like the tempo is changing here, or you could argue that essentially you take log base 2 of 6, which admittedly, is some sort of fractional number. Let's see. So we take log base 2. I forget how this works. How does this work? 2, 3. Wait, what is 2, 8? What is 8, 2? Okay, there we go. So it's the number and then the base. So log base 2 of 6 will be that number. 2.5, that might be really hard to see. It'll be this number. 2.58, whatever. And that tells you your layer of subdivision, right? Well, it's hard to put that into a metric tree, but that's because it's also hard to put this into a metric tree. Like these two, I guess you would need to like incorporate them all together or something. But when it's mixed meter, like you can't do that in one metric tree. But subtract 2 from this, and you get that it's somewhere between. That 5 is counting something between the pulse and a subdivision of the pulse, which it is. Right? Oh, shoot. Is my... I have pretty bad internet, unfortunately, these days, which kind of sucks. Here, let me, like, decrease my bit rate a little bit. I don't know. Let me know if y'all can still tell what's going on. But anyway, what this says, right, is that we are somewhere between the pulse and a first layer subdivision of the pulse, which we are. Like that is what each one of these kind of quarter note triplet things are, right? Relative to this pulse, right? If this is our pulse, like we're not quite at a subdivision because 2 of these things is going to be bigger than one of these things. Like one of these beats is going to be bigger, or sorry, smaller than 2 of these. Right, so these aren't really subdivisions directly, but they're also faster a little bit. So yeah, I mean, the log base 2 rule just kind of works with irrational time signatures just fine. It doesn't really need to be altered with it, which is pretty fun. Thank you, Darth Calculus. What's up? What's up? What's up, Xander Jet? What's up? Jixta? Is that how you would say that? I don't know. Hello, hello. Proved a riff I had in 7. Very good and inspiring. Thanks. I'll stay tuned for the discussion. Thank you. Thank you. Glad to have you. Stream is struggling to keep up. Is that true? Man, I really need to get better internet. The problem is that my household internet is actually quite good, but I am in the basement, and so I'm like the whole house away and several walls and a floor between me and the Wi-Fi router. It's so funny, actually, when I... part of the consequence of this is that when I uploaded the video, I transferred the video to a flash drive and then put it onto my laptop and then just like went upstairs to the room with the router in it to upload it, because it would have taken about like 2 hours to upload from my own PC, and it took about 15 minutes from there. And if I hadn't have done that, I wouldn't have been able to get it out in time for the doubly pushed out deadline that I had set for myself, because I had set for myself a deadline initially of May 2nd, and then I extended it a week when I realized I wasn't ready, and then it came down to the wire Friday night, and I was like, I can't do it. And so I extended it another like 18 hours, and I almost missed the second one as well. I almost missed noon on Saturday, but fortunately I was able to make it with like 15 minutes to spare. Anyway, so yeah, that's what's going on with irrational time signatures. The log-base 2 rule just still works, actually, if you're thinking about the pulse that was set up before you got to the irrational measure. If you're just looking at an irrational time signature by itself, then it doesn't really make sense to do that, right? Because an irrational time signature on its own is generally not very useful. Like, you can do it, but there's just never really a reason to, because if you want to subdivide your beats into like things that aren't powers of 2, you're going to need to use tuplets anyway. Even if you're already in an irrational time signature, like if you're in 5/6, that doesn't mean that subdividing into 3s or 6s even further is going to be easier. You're still going to have to use tuplets. So at that point, just write it in 5/4 or 5/8. You could, maybe the only way that you could argue about something being in 5/6 is if you really convincingly made the feel like something between 5/8 and 5/4, but no, not really, because if you've got something that's like straddling the line between 5/4 and 5/8, it's not like it's in 5/6. It's more like it's in both 5/4 and 5/8, depending on your mood, or depending on who's listening to it, depending on what your ear latches onto, right? Depending on what pulse you actually feel. So anyway. Hello, Arachnus. It's funny to see your name as Arachnus. It's been so long, I feel like, probably since the Jesse 4 stream. One idea. Oh, by the way, everyone, Arachnus in the chat, he's one of the time signature Illuminati. Oh, is this in shot now? Whoops. I keep Task Manager up in the corner so that I don't mistakenly put something in the corner that y'all can't see, because I can't see it either, right? So like, check this out, right? Boom. Pretty slick, right? Because it has an option to be always on top, so even when I'm focused on something else. Anyway, Arachnus is one of the time signature Illuminati, by the way. So you can blame him for all the confusion, actually. Okay, cool. Glad to know the stream is still on. So yeah, let's see. We've got some people here for sure. So basically the plan for this stream is literally just to go through the video and talk about stuff. I also have some big points I want to hit. And I don't know. I think maybe we can just hit these points throughout. I feel like we could probably just weave them in. So let's start. Speaking of the time signature Illuminati. Just gonna... These things. Oh yeah. How persistently they evade distinct ontological cap. Okay, new idea. We are not gonna use the YouTube video, actually. We're going to use my own, because this is just like internet going crazy. I'm just gonna open it up on my computer because I have the actual video file. These things. How persistently they evade succinct ontological capture. Time signatures. I must uncover their secrets. I feel compelled to the truth. Bro,
What do they mean?
This little skit was so fun
Where
to
did
make.
they come from? What do they want?
Let's see, how are my levels right now?
Can someone
you hear
please break a 15 for me?
Okay, maybe we do that a little bit. Okay, so this skit was very impromptu. I was hanging out with some friends, the friends that you see in this video. Oh god, it's really hard to scrub accurately. Here, can I do this?
What do they want?
Yeah, so these friends and this friend's dog, right? I was just hanging out with them. I did not go visit them to shoot like footage for this stuff, but while we were there, I was like, what if we print out some time signatures and we do this little skit? So that was really fun to do, and yeah, I guess there's not much to that. But I think this is the first time I've like properly done a skit to open a video essay. Like, yeah, I think it is. I think it is low key.
These things. How persistently they evade succinct ontological capture.
Yes, my internet connection and the stream disagree on the time signature base. That's probably true. Hello. Oh. Bro. Okay, anyway. So here, my god. This is a reference to the subjectivity video, which does not have that many views comparatively, but it's the posted video on my channel. It still is. I'm very proud of it. This video took a lot of time to make, but not as much time as the subjectivity video. The subjectivity video is still like my most effortful video. That one I did reshoots for that one. In fact, almost every shot is a reshoot in that video, and I shot in a bunch of different locations, and I worked on the script, and I did ramp zooms. This video is all cut zooms, so is the Jesse 4 video, but I did ramp zooms. I did ramped zooms in subjectivity, so like that's like gourmet stuff. I also shot it in 4K on my phone and then downscaled it. I made sure the lighting was good in every shot. Jesse 4 and this video, I just shoot in 1080p. I like put up one light in addition to like my room light, and then I just do like cut zooms. By that I mean, like, you know, like the video like will zoom in when I say something and then zoom back out, right? Like in the subjectivity video, I did those as like keyframed zooms, so it goes like whoop, whoop. But in this video, it's just like boop, boop, instant, right? And it's way faster to edit it that way. I mean, there's probably a way to make a macro to do the ramped zooms more efficiently, but I don't currently do that or know how to do that. Jessica, yeah, I don't know. What's up, Jesse? So yeah, orange juice. But I have a different mug this time, and I'm drinking a different thing, supposedly.
Just right. Have y'all noticed that time signatures are confusing as
How to tell bottom number of time signatures?
This
Like
edit
102 notes per beat. How can I
was so
possibly tell if
fun
it's
to
a half,
make.
quarter, or eighth? I'm so confused. I've recently started studying time signatures, and while I understand the top number, I can't figure out the difference between, let's say, 2-2 and 2-4. I'm confused because I figured that 4-4 time signature meant that every measure had to have 4 quarter notes exact. I don't understand the bottom number in a time signature. The bottom number is literally just the convention of notation. What is really the point? This is true of simple numbers. I don't really see the pros of changing the bottom number. I could every single note value be 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't understand the bottom number on a time signature.
That was a really fun edit to make. I made that one like several days before the video was released, so it was a lot easier to make, I guess. Or it just like felt good because I was like, I have time. The rest of this video, for the most part, was edited in a absolute frenzy, like Thursday night and Friday night, before the release of the video on Saturday. And by Thursday night and Friday night, I mean like Thursday all night and Friday all night.
Okay. So, Wikipedia defines time signatures thus.
Yeah, that was this first little bit here after the edit of all the confusion is one of the few things that I actually did reshoot, because I realized after the fact when I shot it the first time that like I was going way too fast, because there's this like really fast paced edit, right? Where you have all these comments coming up, all this like high pitched sped up voices reading these things off, and then the like super crazy, 11:16 or 22:16 beat going on in the background. And then I was like, okay, so Wikipedia defines him like this. And then I realized when I brought it into the edit that like, oh my goodness, that needs to be so much slower, because you need a release after the insanely fast-paced edit. So anyway,
A time signature is an indication in music notation that specifies how many notes.
oh yeah, I haven't done this technique before where you like highlight stuff. This was interesting to figure out. I did quite a few. I like learned how to edit a little bit better by making this video for sure, because I just had to do it fast enough.
Values of a
I mean, it was a totally self-imposed deadline, but yeah.
particular type are contained in each measure.
Now, this is pretty good. I would make one small adjustment, which is to say how many notes of a certain value fit into a measure.
Which is like,
because these people were confused by the idea that there need to be exactly the note values.
Yeah. So I found this really funny, but like people do get confused about this when they learn time signatures. Like some people do get confused about this, and it's really interesting because I'm like, for me, it's like so hard to imagine, right? Like that confusion. But actually, yeah, if you think about the way that we phrase it, usually it's like you say that there are 3 quarter notes in a measure. Not that the value of a measure is 3/4 or something, which would be more accurate, right? But you actually mean 3 quarter notes can be 3 quarter notes. It could be composed of rests and half notes and whatever.
Specified, and the image on the Wikipedia page doesn't help with that.
You didn't miss
So
much
one's both
void
weak,
form.
but more or less, that's pretty good. When we talk about note value in
Although,
our Western rhythmic
yeah,
notation
Jesse-
system, we're
So for everyone else in the chat, also, whoa, we have a lot of people, relatively speaking. What's up? Jesse and Arachnus are the time signature Illuminati from the skit. So we're in the presence of the time signature Illuminati here. Anyway, let me see if I missed anything here. Free idea for video. Okay. Are we back? Are we back? Are we so back? All right, I think we're so back. Excellent. All right. Very good. We lost some viewers there, but that's okay. All right. So let's continue.
talking about this being a value of 1, and then this note is a value of 1/2.
Yeah,
So
man.
this
I feel like the fact that we have this value-based system is so confounding to a lot of people, which is interesting. To me, I'm like, yes, this is perfect. Like, I love this. I love the fact that we just have this completely relative system, and in America, at least, we name them just based on the fraction so that they just are named with numbers that represent their relative durations to one another, and that's just, like, so amazing. Like, I feel like we're really lucky. I feel like we could have had something way more fucked up. We could have had something way more fucked up. I'm just saying. Like, quarter notes, whole notes, half notes, it's a beautiful thing, honestly.
will always take half as long as this, and this will always take a quarter as long as this. Now, when I was taught time signatures, when I was learning to read sheet music for the first time, when I was 8 years old taking piano lessons, and then later when the orchestra teacher in elementary school was teaching us about time signatures, I was taught them with a very particular verbiage. I was told that the top number is the number of beats in a measure.
This is interesting. I had several people who commented, well, quaver and semi-quaver, sure, but also just like, even with quaver and semi-quaver, like at least they correspond to this like at least the symbol